Yeah, great to see you all again. Had two tough matches at home. We had Oral Roberts on Thursday, Denver on Saturday. Both of those matches ended up going 5 sets, and were grueling long grudge matches against both of those two teams. But awesome weekend overall. Got to see a lot of great things from our team. Got to see a lot of growth in different areas. We've got Maddie Horniak coming up next. It's not only her birthday today, but she also just climbed to 4th all-time in the Division I career aces list at UND. So super proud of her and the performance that she had. But just another example of the Summit League Conference chaos that's going to go on. We beat Oral Roberts on Thursday at home after 2 close first sets that we lost, and then 3 dominant sets in sets 4, 4, and 5. And then they turned around and they beat NDSU on Saturday, who had swept Denver on Thursday and had swept St. Thomas the week before. And then St. Thomas goes out and sweeps South Dakota and Kansas City in the same weekend. So we know in this conference it's going to be a battle every single day. Everybody is good. And then we want to show up and be able to play our level of volleyball. And we've got a few things that we want to work on and clean up after the weekend, but we're really excited with the trajectory that we're on right now and the path that we're on. And excited this week we have South Dakota at home on Thursday night at 7 p.m. And then we're on the road Saturday going down to Brookings to play SDSU, who's still undefeated thus far in their season. So really excited to battle 2 more really good teams as we get deeper into conference play.
Looks like you're getting another freshman involved here. What have you seen from her getting into the mix now?
Yeah, Vanessa Emo has been playing for us for the last 3 matches and has done a phenomenal job stepping into the role that she's in. She's a really great athlete. She was an all-state player in California in volleyball. She was also an all-state player in California in soccer in the one season that she played out there. And she comes from this really great family of athletes. Her father was actually a silver medalist at the Olympics for Nigeria in track and field. And so someone who, originally we were expecting that potentially she might redshirt this year, but after we had a couple lineup changes and her growth and her development over the first half of the season has been phenomenal. And so for her to come in and play in the spot that she's at, be able to produce offensively and with her block has been really fun to see. And the cool part is she's only been playing volleyball since she was a sophomore in high school. And so we know that there's a lot of growth to be had, and there's a super high ceiling for her. And every day you're going to see her get better and grow in a lot of different phases, which is cool to see.
What's your approach as a coach with that many freshmen having impact for you this year? How do you handle it?
Yeah, we talked about this after the game on Thursday, I believe it was, but my first year here, we had Izzy and Paige both playing as freshmen in pretty massive roles, and then last year we had Lauren and Tegan playing as freshmen in pretty massive roles, and this year we've seen both of the Vanessas and Kala in some pretty massive roles as freshmen as well. And so it's not anything that's new to us as a staff or as a team when you've got people that can come in and contribute right away earlier in their careers. For us, it's just really exciting to see, okay, this is where we're at as freshmen, and we know that there's 4 more years of growth to be had. I think the big thing for us this year is just we have some really excellent upperclassmen leadership. And not that we didn't have great upperclassmen leadership in the past, but the last 2 years they've also been new to me and new to our program and our staff. And so for us to have people like Elizabeth and Maddie who have not only been here for 4 years but have been with us for an extended period of time means that they're able to better communicate and share information with those younger athletes so that they're able to play at a really high level right out the gates.
What's the key for you if everybody's beating everybody in the Summit League? You come off 2 5-set matches. Yeah. What tilts things your favor or not?
Yeah, I think for us, it's just continuing to stack good plays over and over and over. We know that our volleyball is really good. I think the Oral Roberts match is a really great example of that. It's not like we were doing anything particularly poorly in the first 2 sets against ORU. They were just playing really good volleyball too. And we knew if we kept going after the things that we wanted to go after, if we stayed true to our process and our systems, that overall our volleyball is really good. And if you can stack those good plays together over time, then you're going to have some pretty dominant performances, which is what we saw in sets 3, 4, and 5 when we beat them by 5 to 10 points a set in each one of those sets.
What jumps out at you about South Dakota? I believe that's your first home one next, right?
Yeah. Another team that's kind of working through a couple different lineup changes as well. They've got some freshmen, some transfers that are playing for them, and so sometimes they're going to have really nice results, like going out and beating Mizzou and Iowa State like they did in non-conference, and other times they're going to get swept by St. Thomas on their home floor, which is something that hasn't happened in a very long time. I can't remember the last time South Dakota lost 2 conference matches in a row in the Summit League, and so we know that they're going to be good. We know that they're going to fight really, really hard and play really scrappy defense, but we also know that we've always had an edge on them in terms of our ability to game plan and prep from a scouting perspective as well. And so I think it's going to be a fun battle where you see 2 good teams going up against each other.
To force those two 5-setters on the road, kind of what's your biggest takeaway about this group, and kind of what do you think it says about this group to be able to do that?
Yeah, for us, we've been talking all year about how the team does a really amazing job fighting and battling through different moments. And when we look at the Denver match in particular, for us, it's been about stopping our opponents' runs and not letting them rattle off 3 or 4 or 5 points in a row. And there were 2 points, one in the first set and one in the second set, where there was a 5-point margin. But other than that, every single set and every single moment of that match was within a 2 to 3 point set or 2 to 3 point margin. And so that's how closely both of those two programs were battling and fighting. And so for us, it was really encouraging to see that we didn't really let strings of points go against Denver, and we got battled with them point for point throughout a really long match. And so that's something we haven't been able to do as well in the past, and I think it's really encouraging for us to see that and know that, yeah, it's going to be a battle every single night, but we've proven that we can battle against any team in this conference.
You mentioned how wide open the Summit League is right now. How exciting is it for you to be in a league like that where it's really wide open at the end of it here?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's why we do it. I mean, the reality is that 10 years ago when I first got to the Summit League, that it wasn't this way. There were a couple teams every single year that you knew you probably didn't have to play at your best to have some success. And now it doesn't matter what team you're playing or who you're going up against, it's going to be a battle, and that's fun, right? Like, we play sports because we like to compete. Nobody likes winning or losing 25-0. We want it to be 25-23. We want it to be 15-13 in the 5th set. And hopefully, as we continue to battle through those moments, a lot of those matches start to fall our way.
Coach, with the back-to-back 5-setters, what did you see from the depth of this team?
Yeah, I think for us, it's just knowing that the work that we do on Thursday and Saturday has come from all the preparation that we do on Monday and Tuesday. And some of that preparation is on the court in terms of growing our skills. Other preparation is in the film room, making sure we know our opponents and who we're playing. And a lot of it is also taking care of our bodies and making sure that we're crushing our recovery, that we're taking care of our minds as much as our muscles. And so making sure that we're crushing our recovery post-practice, we're crushing our recovery post-match, that we're taking advantage of Sundays when the weather is beautiful and fall is in the air and the leaves are falling off the trees. Like, go outside and get a walk in. Right, spend some time doing something that fills your bucket in that way as well. And so I think our team's done a really nice job being really professional in that area this year, of just growing their ability to take care of themselves so that they can be great when it's required of them.
And with Norris having her success in climbing the rankings, and so has Maddie, how important is it to have players like that can show the way to your younger players?
Yeah, it's awesome. I think for our team, we've got a lot of really good servers on this team, and so for them to see the success and the recognition that Maddie's getting is just further confirmation for them. Like, hey, keep grinding, keep your nose down. Like, when you do these things, these are the results that you get. And to have our younger athletes that are currently on the team able to look up to those upperclassmen in that way, to have some of our committed athletes that will be joining us soon that have already talked about the impact that our upperclassmen have had on them, and it's just really encouraging to see, and just knowing that Maddie and Elizabeth have had a huge impact in their time here, but that impact is going to continue long after they're gone as well. It's awesome.